It's wizard.
It's wizard. I love it.
One of the things that I love about Dungeons and Dragons and tabletop role-playing games are the varieties in class and character builds that you can do. You can make just about any kind of character that you want to do, just about anything that you want that character to do. And that's one of the things that I absolutely love.
I just really wanted something that was an adventure and that represented D&D well. And I think it accomplished that, especially if you compare it to the D&D movie of 2000, which was awful.
It's painful. It's painful.
Just so bad. So bad.
I think what I loved the most about the movie was that I do feel that what they captured really was the absolute just insanity of trying to herd 4 or 5 players in one general direction. I love that they failed, that they succeeded, that it had different gives and takes throughout, and it had all these different nods and stuff. And I think what I really love too is that it had legitimate Easter eggs, like Thimberchod and others, that some surface level fans of D&D were like, oh, like who wants to see a fat dragon? I do, because that's in like a ton of different units and it's part of the lore. Like, yeah, I want to see a pudgy fat dragon.
The best class is the class that you enjoy playing the most, or that you are more comfortable with playing. And
yeah, I like that you said that. That it really is what works for you and how you play. Because some people are casters and some people aren't, or aren't interested in that.
It's all fairly relative as far as what appeals to the various players and why, or what they hope to achieve with a certain character.
Actually really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was really reminiscent of what it felt like at a table, because a lot of times plans didn't go well, and sometimes the silly things that you didn't think were going to work worked simply because you rolled high enough. There's one moment in particular I remember playing where I was like, I'm gonna try this even though it's a very bad idea, and I just rolled stupid high, and it was like somehow it worked.
Going along that like middle ground though, it's almost as if like the overarching character development for the whole movie was based on those dice rolls with those dump stats.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
And there's an example of that in the movie where they're in the Underdark and there's those monsters that like devour intelligence and stuff. It's like,
the intellect devourer.
It's just gonna like, devour your brain, and everybody's just up against the wall, and they're just like, nope, we're just gonna walk by. And you're just like,
now I
know
feel
what everybody's dump stat is.
Now that's a little hurtful.
I laughed so hard.
That was pretty funny.
Oh, it's because I like being right up there and just doing all
very
damage.
very fond of the martial classes. Then
I am.
Like that is your jam.
It's my jam. I do love it.
I enjoy being able to make the DM's job harder and kill everybody else.
That's amazing. I love that. Makes you think, like, I wonder how many people are out there that do that. Like that is their goal, to make the DM's life harder.
Well, okay, that's not my goal in the game, is to be the antagonist for the DM and screw up all his plans and everything. But I would be lying if I said that I took no satisfaction in causing him to sigh.
Sigh, yes. But it is entertaining. It is fun. And it's fun for the DM because, they plan so much, like, gosh, thousands of hours, especially if they're home brewing stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And to have all this stuff, like he plans things, but so much is also improv because he's not going to, make us do only this. We can choose whatever we want to do. But to have like surprises for him or any DM, it's got to be entertaining.
I hope it's fun.
Yes.
The one thing that I was like, I wish there was more of was and maybe this is just Chris as an awesome DM, but I feel like every one of us have had moments as characters where we've been able to be the hero in that situation or be able to like be the main character. And I wanted not Edge, it's Edgin, right? The main character. I wanted him to
Captain
be able
Kirk.
to have like this big moment to save his daughter, and I walked away from it being like, so you did major image or maybe minor illusion and it failed.
Horribly.
And I don't feel like you did anything else. Everybody else did stuff.
Yeah, I felt the same way. Actually.
I wanted there to be more of that. I wanted there to be like more Dungeons and Dragons. The whole point for me anyway is you get to tell this big long story and be able to, I don't know, get to jump in and save your daughter from this evil lord who's, you know, trying to summon some evil wizard. Like, there are so many cool things that could have happened, and I feel like, one, they did the character a disservice by not giving him that moment, and two, I think they did the class of bard a disservice by not utilizing him better.
Like, I think they did a great job of doing a good visualization of what bardic inspiration would look like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he had to pep talk
I can agree with
everybody
that.
constantly.
You did.
I did not want to see on camera, me personally, a bard strumming a lute with magic coming out of it the entire movie. I felt like for the best that they could represent a bard without going too cheesy is what they did with him, where he was constantly figuring things out, planning. He was almost like a mastermind rogue / bard combo, where he was planning everything, sneaking around, and he was just this like leader. And I kind of liked it actually myself, but
I understand what Manny's saying because I did feel a little bit like that
Yeah.
too. I was like, did he do anything? One thing I did really enjoy as far as like character growth goes is I should have all their names written down. The wizard,
the sorcerer.
the sorcerer. Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, the
yeah.
sorcerer, Simon.
Simon. Thank you.
Simon
I like
was
Simon.
great.
I loved how they
He was
showed
cute.
attuning. We've never done it like that before. We're just always like, oh, attune, click. But I loved how.
Thanks for that
Sorry.
commentary. Appreciate that. Next item she finds, folks, she's gonna be like, "Why won't it work?" Well, the DC's 37.
Shoot, I hope it's already in a bad place. But I just loved how he couldn't do it. How he didn't believe in himself.
We love the game. We spend hours of our life playing this game together.
Yeah.
And that unity and camaraderie, definitely they didn't want to turn against him. So the more I think about your comment, the more I'm like, yeah, I think you're right. They didn't take a lot of risks. They played it safe. Which I think is also why it succeeded, because they did play it safe, and so they kind of appeased everyone. They kind of pleased everyone just enough.
It's always nice for exposure or a feature film to come out or something like this. I don't think that it will be what Hasbro or Wizards of the Coast want it to be, where they have kicked themselves in the nuts repeatedly so many times.
I love that.
It's not going to do what they need it to do. I don't believe that.
Between the two of you, which I think are opposite sides
Somewhere
of the
in-
spectrum.
yeah, I love that we went.
I am not in the middle. I definitely lean towards what John was saying. They think that they'll bring in all these players. D&D is a time commitment,
That's true.
and you're not going to be able to do it in 30 minutes. It's a long form game. It just always will be. One shots are even hard to run when you have a large group of people, right? Just to get through in one evening. I don't think it's going to bring in as many players. I think it'll bring more fans to the genre. And so they're going to have to diversify what they do to capture those fans. That's what concerns me.
Okay, Jay, what do you
Alright.
think, baby?
So I'm
Sweetheart.
going to lean toward
Bacon
Katie's
drippings.
response actually, because
Bacon drippings.
Bacon drippings. Stop that.
I need it clear. I don't call him bacon drippings. That
The whole
is
camera again.
a joke from our campaign. Jason, what do you think the impact of the D&D movie is going to be on the D&D community?
I think there's going to be younger people, families, and younger people that are going to become interested, even sporadically, or not being able to play forever. It took me 28 years to find a DM to play D&D, and yeah.
Hi.
Because I had an interest a long time ago when I was younger, but I just was never around anybody that could or would invite me to the table.
If you enjoy the class and you enjoy the character that you made, then that is the best character in class for you and for your campaign, for whatever it is that you're doing. But you're wrong if it's not wizard.
Yes.